Hello, this is Melissa the Stamp Doc. Today we are getting ready for the annual catalog to launch tomorrow, and you will be able to order just about anything I show you today. So if you've already got your catalog, you might just want to be able to follow along with me. I'm going to kind of point out some things to you that you might not have noticed on your first trek through the catalog. And then I'm also going to show you some samples that I've created and that friends of mine have created with the new stamp sets from the catalog. And if we get time, then I'm also going to stamp. So let's get started. So here is the cover of the catalog. And I'm going to turn my light down, so if you need more light, let me know. But you can see there's lots of great samples on the cover. So lots of fun stuff there. And these are all my tabs. So this is all the stuff I'm planning to go through today. Just so I could do it a little bit quicker. So first thing I want to draw to your attention is that we now just have two types of stamps. We have our cling stamps, which is the red rubber that you're accustomed to. And these come now with a cling sticker, so they stick really well to your acrylic blocks or to your Stamparatus. So there are no more wood blocks. There's not any confusion of like a clear mount stamp versus a wood mount. They're all cling. And so they're going to work with any acrylic blocks that you have. And then we also have our photopolymer. These are the ones that are clear, so positioning them makes that a lot easier. The other thing that you're going to notice is that we have 5 new ink colors, and I'm going to be sharing those a little bit more with you later. But we rotate these out every 2 years, so these will be with us for the next 5 years, or not 5 years, 2 years. And then these colors will be retiring next year. So they've already been with us for a year. They've got 1 more year to go. And then these are our core colors through here. All right, and then the next thing I was going to show you is this little section up at the front. So if you have been with us for a while, you know that we do a lot of bundles. And these bundles allow you to save about 10 to 15% when you combine the stamp set with the coordinating dies and embellishments. And what's great about that is you can save money on those, but they've put all of the bundles at the front. I find that those are really one of the most popular items that we carry, so this really draws them to your attention. And the samples are really eye-catching. I like the fact that they're very large. This is one of the stamp sets I'm going to feature today, and I'm going to show you some samples with, and we're going to stamp with. This one is called To a Wild Rose, so I'm going to bring that up close so you can kind of see there. So you can see, and it tells you that if you want to see more, turn to page 141. So we're going to go back and turn to 141, and I should have a little tab there. Let's see, that's too far. It's going to be one of these. Maybe this one. Yep, looks like it's this one. Okay, and so this is that entire stamp set. So you've got even more samples down here and up here with that stamp set. So you're getting a lot more samples showing you things to do with those bundles, which is great. So let me go back and let's see what we've got here. Okay, so you're going to notice that the suites take up 3 pages now. I thought I would show you my favorite suite. And this one might come as a surprise since I don't have a little boy at home, but I love the fact that they actually put some pink in with these dinosaurs, so that's really cute. I'm not sure my 12-year-old's going to be a big fan of this, but I do love this suite. So have you ever had a suite that you just love everything in? You love the stamp set, you love the dies, you love the embellishments, the paper, everything. Well, now you can buy everything in that suite for one price. So up here at the top, you're going to see it says Dino Roar Suite, and we've got our code, and that gives us everything that's listed on this page. So many of our suites are listed that way. The suites do take up 3 pages, so you've got this full 2-page spread with tons of samples. And then on the next page, you're going to get a close-up at the designer series paper and the stamp set. And I absolutely love that paper. Again, love the fact that they've really kind of made that very gender neutral. There's pink, there's blue, there's green, there's yellow. I just love all those bright colors, and I can't wait to play with that one. So that is a suite. And after I look at the suites, usually the next thing I'm wanting to do is I want to go look at the accessories. So we're going to head on back there. And let's see what I have marked. Okay. So, my favorite accessory always is the designer series paper. I am a paper hoarder. I've gotten a lot better with it. I've been cutting it and using it and doing quite a bit with it, but I always love to look at the designer series papers. So these are our new designer series papers, and you can see we've got a ton of them. So over here and all through here. Now, if you're like me and you would just like to see all of these papers and you'd like to have samples of them, I am offering a designer series paper share where you will get a 6x6 sheet of each one of the patterns in this page. So this is 165, 166, and then also the Come Sail Away With Me designer series paper. I've listed this as an event on my Facebook page, so you're already here. Just check the events tab whenever you leave, and you can sign up for that designer series paper share. That's just a great way to get a bunch of those papers. Try those out and see which ones you'd like to get more of. All right, so on the next page here, I'm going to call your attention to these because they're very nondescript, so you might miss them. But what these are pattern paper packages of our core colors. And what I'm most excited about is that there's gingham in each one. So you'll definitely want to pick up one of these 6x6 bundles for that. If you're one of those people that likes the pre-made cards, there's laser cut cards with the bird ballot suite. There's some scallop note cards that are new. All of these are great if you like that quick card making. Yeah, I noticed that about the cardstock bundles also with the DSP, but I'm not sure that they really sold a lot of those. I know most of my customers weren't buying those as well. All right, so as we go through, I'm skipping over a lot of the accessories. I've been using my blends a ton, and there are new colors. So anywhere you see these little ends, these are new colors of blends, and those will be going on my first order. The other thing that you might want to see is these pigment sprinkles. These are a lot like the brushos that we carried before, but in Stampin' Up! Colors. All right, let me go through here. All right, so this is one of those things you might miss first time around, but this is a new stamp cleaning pad and refill. So the stamp cleaning pad, let me just show you because I've got one here, yay! It looks about the size of one of our Memento ink pads, but it's just a little bit thicker. And mine is absolutely pink and dirty and gross. But how many times have you stamped with a photopolymer stamp and it has gotten really pink or red just from any type of red ink that you do? This will scrub the majority of that off. Now, I just used it today, and I used it on a stamp that I'm going to use again here later, and we'll try that. But you scrub your stamp with this, and then you need to rinse it in water. But it really got a lot of that pink residue off. So I'm really thinking some of those yuckier photopolymer stamps, this is going to be my go-to. This is also great. This is what I plan to pack with my paper pumpkin kits when I travel with those, because how great is that to have something this small and this compact to be able to clean my stamps with. I'm pretty excited about this. So you'll definitely want to add one of those to your order. All right. Now, I'm going to show you some things with the Stamparatus, But the thing I'm excited about here is there is a deluxe foam mat. It's actually got grid markings on it and the foam. So I love that. Gonna have to have that. It's only $6. Definitely something I'm gonna need with my Stamparatus. All right, I'm also really excited about the kits. Honestly, I used to have time to just design whatever I wanted, and now I need quick cards. So this is a kit that you can get, and then there's a stamp set that goes with it, and it tells you all the supplies that you need to go with this one. This one's really cute. It has a lot of felt embellishments with it, so I'm definitely going to get that one. But in addition to these two, which I've already done, love them, love them, love them, there is also this new all-inclusive kit up here. And I think this one would be perfect for even like a kids class. So if you've got kids at home this summer that need something to do, these are adorable cards. And it comes with a stamp set and all of the supplies you need to make it. So it's kind of like the Paper Pumpkin kits. So for those of you that are new and just getting started, that is a great kit to start with. Okay, so I promised you I would show you some samples. So I've marked most of those up here at the top. Okay, so how many of you had the butterfly punch? Or if you haven't gotten it yet, you know you want it. Well, here is just one more stamp set that goes with that butterfly punch. And I was able to create a couple of samples with that. So here is one. I'm going to set this aside so you can get a good look at these. All right, and this is a little trifold, so it opens just like this. And aren't those butterflies adorable? Really cute. And just punch those out with the butterfly stamp. And then here is another one. And you'll notice these are some of those new in colors too. All right, so another stamp set that I have quite a bit with is this bird ballot suite. Now, I'm not a big bird fan, but apparently a lot of people are. So I'm going to show you some bird ballot samples. Now, most of these were created by friends or through a swap. So there is this one, and this one I received in a swap, and I don't know who made it. So it's very pretty though, and they actually used some of the embossing paste on that. So really a pretty card. This one I did at a shoebox swap. So I'm not really sure who designed it, but colored that with some blends. Very pretty. This one is created by me. And I used some of the gingham paper. Today is your last day to get that gingham paper. But I just showed you where to get some new gingham paper. So we're not going to be too sad over that. And I cut out the birds from my designer series paper. So I didn't buy the bird stamp set. So I don't know. If I break down and buy the bird stamp set, it'll be something because I'm not a big bird person. My friend Emily Kimmy made me this cute little bookmark, which I think is adorable, and I love the way she colored those birds. Something really quick and easy you could do. And I believe this card was also made by her. Just really pretty. And that paper is gorgeous. I mean, I might not like birds, but I do like the bird paper. It is very pretty. So that is from the Bird Ballot Suite. And again, if you love birds, there is an entire suite here for you where you can get the stamp set, the dies, the paper, there's laser cut cards and tins, embellishments, ribbon, all sorts of goodies, and you can get that one great big bundle. All right, so I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about masculine cards. Today's my husband's birthday, and then in less than 2 weeks, we've got Father's Day. So lots of opportunity for masculine cards. So this Come Sail Away With Me suite has a lot of masculine things with it, and I think this stamp set will be very popular. The other one that I think will be popular is this A Good Man. This type of sketch drawing has been really popular with a lot of our customers. So let me show you what I've got with those. And let me push this aside. So I only have one sample with the A Good Man, and that's this one right here. This is another one we did at our shoebox swap. So just kind of a fun, sunny card, and colored that with the blends on him. And then I've got a couple of cards also. Bless you, honey. That was my daughter sneezing. This one is just from that Come Sail Away suite. Love that. And I really love, if you end up getting this paper, you're definitely going to want that twine too. It's like a crumb cake and navy combined. Really pretty. And then here's another nautical card. And this one was a swap and looks like, oh, I can't read the name on it. Donna. Okay, so very cute. And again, she even used that little twine up there on that. So love that suite. And okay, so some of you may have seen these cards. So I'll just run through those really quick. This one is Bloom and Grow. That is the stamp set from that. Okay. Love that. So if I haven't sold you on that yet, I don't know what else I can do. That stamp set is just gorgeous. And then, of course, I think a lot of you have seen the Over the Moon. I have a lot of those cards. So this was my cute little peekaboo card. And if you've missed that, it is on the it is on YouTube with a tutorial. So you can check that out. This is one we made at our shoebox swap. Just very cute. This one I got from Dawn Griffith. I believe she has a video for that on her website. This is a peekaboo card, and I have that one on my YouTube site. And then I did some watercolor cards. Here's this one. And I cut that out with the rectangle stitched framelits. Love that. Here's another one like that. And this was just kind of sponged on there. And then these two, this was just a challenge to do a single layer card, which I love the way it ended up looking. But then I wanted to step it up. And so I did the same thing, just added some of the wood grain background paper. And if you haven't gotten that, you've got just a few hours left to get you some of that paper. All right. There's one other little suite I need to show you that I've got a couple of samples for, and that is the Perennial Essence suite. Now, this particular paper I just love. I think it's gorgeous. And I'll show you the cards that I made with that. But it really has a beautiful watercolor look to it. So this one is, I don't remember what kind of card we call this, but it was a lot of cutting and scoring. Let's just put it that way. I don't know that I will do that in a class setting. It was a little much. Here's one that we just did some simple stamping on and a little bit of sponging. And then another one with that same paper. Just very simple. So, like I said, that paper is probably one of my favorites. So definitely going to want to get some of that. All right, so you've already seen the Magnolia suite because it was on the cover. This is a card that I shared already about a week ago. There is information on that on my blog if you want to see more. And then my good friend Emily Kimmy, she made me a bunch of samples, so I'm going to show you those. This one's just very simple, but absolutely gorgeous. And all of these are from the Magnolia suite. And here we go. And these are from the Memories and More Magnolia Manor. So they come with these envelopes. Really nice. There's just a little bit of a silver line along there. You can see that. And then the little liner comes with it. And you have these silver foil debossed card fronts. And so with the card pack, you can add just about anything you want to that. So she made me one of those also. So I thought that was very pretty. All right. So I told you I wanted to go back to the in colors. I think I've showed you most of my samples. Well, okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So I'm going to show you some that are from the To a Wild Rose stamp set. We're going to use that here on a project soon. This is a card I did, and this one was done with So Saffron ink and Smoky Slate. And what I did is I stamped off on it multiple times just to give it that super soft look. But I love that. It takes 3 stamps to make that complete rose image that way. And then I went in bold. So on this one, I did some really bright colors, but I love the way that turned out. Those flowers are just big and bold and beautiful. This next one is just very neutral. This is the one I shared on my blog last night, and just some simple heat embossing there and just kept the stamps open. And on this one, I just used my crumb cake blends, the lighter one, just to go around the edges of that to add some depth and dimension. But I love the way that card turned out. And then the final one here, I used the buffalo check background, and I did real red stamped off on this, added some of the die cut leaves, flowers, and even this little piece here is part of those die cuts. So just made a really cute little card. So then I took that same stamp set, which again is called To a Wild Rose, and I created samples with the in colors. So I'm going to show you those. So our first in color is Seaside Spray. And here is our card. And this is just a really pretty light blue. I love the color of that. Very pretty. This one is Terracotta Tile. And again, just a really pretty, we don't really have, Cajun Craze is a little darker than this, so it's just, it's really a neat color. Now, Purple Posy, I'm going to tell you, I told you there were a few things you might not be able to order. You could get the Purple Posy cardstock, but the Purple Posy ink pad and the refill are not going to be available tomorrow. There were some quality issues with that, so we are going to have a little bit of a wait on that, but I'll let you know as soon as that becomes available. So what I did is I just used the cardstock, and then I paired it with Blackberry Bliss and I believe Soft Sea Foam to create those flowers to coordinate with it. Then we have Rococo Rose, and just a really pretty, like a dusty rose almost. So if you like that type of a color, there we go. And then finally we have Pretty Peacock. And on this one, you'll notice I didn't even fill in those flowers. I just left them open, kind of did them all around. And that color is probably one of my favorites. It's almost like a dark bluish teal is the best way I can describe it. But love that color. So you may be wondering how I came up with the color combinations on these. So let me just show you. I have a little color coach for you. And this will go out to all of my email subscribers tomorrow, and it will be the gift to my new email subscribers after tomorrow. So don't worry, you will receive this, and it will help you come up with those color combinations like I did on these cards. So this type of card is called triple time stamping. It is a very easy technique that you can do with just cardstock, ink, and paper, and a cardstock and ink. That's really it. I mean, there's not much more to it. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'll give you the measurements for how to create those. So let me move all of these out of the way. And we're going to start with the colors first. So I'm using Terracotta Tile today. So for your first piece, you want to cut 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and you're going to score that at 4 1/4. And that's going to create your card base. Okay? And we are going to use all of these. So the next one you want to do is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And don't worry if you don't catch these, I will put all of this information on my blog as well. And your next color piece is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. All right, then you're going to want to cut with your Whisper White. So I have one piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. My next piece is 3 inches by 4 1/4. And my final piece is 2 inches by 3 1/4. So once you have all of those cut, you're basically ready to go. So I'm going to use my stamp apparatus today, and I'll just show you how I've got that set up. So let me get that on here. I'm just going to move those aside. And I've got an extra piece here because we're going to need that for something. Okay, so on my stamp apparatus, I'm going to show you what all I have here because I have a little extra. So I have the standard foam pad. This one's $3. There's that premium one that I showed you in the catalog. That one's $6. Definitely going to order that one. But you're going to put that foam pad there because we're using photopolymer stamps. The next thing I put down is a magnet pad, and I got this from Stamp and Storage. They're available, not very expensive, but it's just a very thin magnet sheet, so it just enhances how easily that will hold on there. And then you can buy packs of grid paper that fit the stamp apparatus. So I'm going to put that on there next. The next thing you're going to want to do, and I'm going to go ahead and lay these out just like I would normally, but I'm going to go ahead and put my 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of paper. And we're going to use these that I wrote on because this isn't going to show. You're going to stack these on top of each other. So the next piece is the 3 inch by 4 1/4. And just leave a border around that. Now this one I'm not going to stack on there because I have a blank one and I'm going to use it instead. So I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to use my magnet to hold those down. All right, so next I have the greeting from the stamp set, and I'm going to use black mental ink from that. So we're going to ink that up, and on this I could use my stamp apparatus for it, but I just want to stamp this and move on. I'm going to use mainly my flowers for this. So we're going to flip that over and stamp that right there in the middle. I just don't want to screw that up at the end. Okay, perfect. All right, now I'm going to move my magnet. Now, there are 2 magnets that come with your stamp apparatus, but they're so strong that if they get together, they will actually break apart, and I don't want to do that, so we're not going to do that. Now I have stuck my stamps on here. So this is the whole stamp set, and as you can see, the stamps are quite a bit bigger than what is shown on there. So you'll notice that I've got little arrows drawn on the back of my stamp, and you'll see why here in just a moment. But this particular stamp set requires 3 stamps. So I put my arrow there so that I know which way that's going to go, and I'm just going to place that down. So this is the flat side and the stamp image is on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up, and we are going to use the terracotta tile ink. Okay, so I've got my ink pad here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink that up, and we're going to just press that down. Now, what you'll notice is sometimes these little edges along here aren't going to stamp fully, and that's okay. We're not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to take my plate out. I flipped it around. And then next, I'm going to use the second stamp. So the second one, again, I've done this little arrow. So if I point it up, I'm able to line it up over what I just did. Now, if you don't do this, trust me, takes a little while to figure out which way it goes. So I'm going to lift that up. Now this one is a full stamp, but I don't want to stamp it at full strength. What I found with this particular stamp set is it looks better when you stamp off. So I've got a second piece of this grid paper, and I'm going to stamp off first, and then I'm going to stamp on again. Now, something interesting I learned about the Stamparatus, and probably knowing my profession, should have thought of this sooner, but a lot of people like the Stamparatus just because it is easier for people with arthritis to stamp. So I'm going to use my third plate, or my second plate here, and again, I have my little arrow, and those arrows do not come with it, so that is something you will have to do yourself with like a Sharpie or another marker. Now I'm going to lower that down on there, and again, I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to stamp off once there, and then stamp that again. Okay. Now, if I wanted to do that a second time, I can do that pretty easily. So I'm just going to turn my paper, put my magnet back down. I'm going to go through here and show you just how quickly I can do this. So I'm going to stamp that one down. Stamp it down that way. Oh, missed a little spot there. That's the nice thing with Stamparatus is you can always go right back over it. I'm going to do the full one that we did. So we're just kind of going backwards on this. We're going to stamp off. Stamp on. Let's see if we can get a little more ink there in the middle. There we go. We're going to pull our plate straight up and out. Put it back down. And ink that one up at full strength. We didn't stamp off on that one. And we've got another perfect flower. So now that I have those, I'm going to turn it back around so we can all see it the right way, the right direction. Because I want to add a few of the leaves. And maybe even a little flower center. So again, I'm going to come back here and look at my little color coach. And again, this is my free gift to you. So up here we see terracotta tile, soft suede, and mossy meadow. So I'm going to use those three colors. So I'm going to start with the soft suede. Open that one up. And there's a little round circle for the flower centers. What I'm going to do is just put that on the center, but then I'm going to twist it too. I'm going to do that over here too, just to kind of get that pretty floral center. All right. And then I'm going to use mossy meadow for my leaves. Now the leaves can be stamped 3 times just like the flowers, so you can do that also. So I like to use the outline first. And for these, I didn't really have a need to know like which direction. It's pretty obvious which direction they go. I'm just going to add those. Let's see. Angle that in there. And as you can tell, I'm not really worrying if it doesn't get on those lines exactly, because once we put this all together, it'll be fine. And you'll notice too, on some of my cards, I didn't fill those in. I just left them that way. And on others, I filled them in completely. So it's really up to you. You've got a lot of versatility with this stamp set. So if I go with the second leaf, I'm going to stamp off on that. Again, I'm using the mossy meadow with this color. And there we go. And one more. Okay. Yeah, kind of screwed that one up, but oh well, we'll just get it again. There we go. And then there is one more leaf. We're gonna go ahead and stamp that twice off to get it. But by doing that, we're getting lots of dimension in these leaves. It's just gonna make it really pretty. There we go. And again, if you missed any of those measurements, I will put all of those back up on the blog later today. All right, so we got that all done. I'm gonna put my ink pads away so I don't get any inkier. I'm gonna take that out of there. And I'm gonna move it all aside. Let me take this one out and leave that flat. All right, so now we're just going to put that together. So each one of these layers fits perfectly. And I'm just using snail adhesive for that. Okay. And hopefully catching those measurements again. There we go. Now, for those of you that are local, I just want to remind you, I've got one ticket left for bingo on the 14th. Registration ends tonight, so whether that one ticket sells or not, registration is closing tonight. So if you have a friend that was wanting to go to bingo, you might want to tell them to claim that ticket right away. We've got a full house and space for one more, so somebody can get that. So you're just going to start laying all those layers together, and it just starts fitting together like a puzzle. And I like to pop up my top layer with some dimensionals. So we're going to do that. So I think this is kind of a beginner stamping technique. I mean, you can do it without the Stamparatus, or you can do it with if you're concerned about how everything lines up. But you really don't need a lot of special supplies to get that done. So it's a great little card and has a really neat effect to it. So hopefully you like that one. This will be my thank you card for June. So you'll get one of these versions if you place an order with me during the month of June. And I do have a hostess code for June also. Let's see if I can find that. Okay. So if you are planning to order, you'll be able to order from the new catalog beginning tomorrow. And this is the hostess code that you can use. So anytime you use that hostess code, you will get one of my thank you cards. And I always appreciate your orders. So that's really all I've got for you today, unless you have any additional questions about the new catalog. Certainly you can message me if I didn't cover anything that you wanted me to cover. And I'll have some more videos later on this week for you as well. So I hope you have a great week. I look forward to working with you, and hopefully this will be a great catalog launch tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.